puppy. I really like the yellow ones. I'm gonna pull these weeds so I can see my cucumbers because I can't even see them or get to them. I think this is called lady's thumb. It's actually extremely beautiful. I like it a lot. I just don't like it right here. I mean, the flowers, they're so pretty. It has some other names, something to do with a pearl or something, which I can totally see just from the colors, and so pretty. I'm sorry that you're in the wrong spot, so I have to pull you. I gotta be really careful that I don't accidentally pull my cucumbers out while grabbing all these weeds, because I've done stuff like that before, and it is sad. I'm like, no, my plants. So I follow homesteading channels, I follow prepping channels, I follow gardening channels, and I follow other completely unrelated things like how to do YouTube channels. And what I've noticed is the channels, first, the prepping channels were the only ones talking about some of the stuff that was happening. The homestead channels, I think they knew, but they were afraid. It wasn't acceptable yet to talk about, not doom and gloom, but like some more unhappy stuff that could be coming. So they actually didn't talk about it. And then they started talking about it, but kind of with like euphemisms and like just really going around the subject. Oh, it's good to be, you know, have food in your house, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then they started getting a little more straightforward, and they were like, I see bad things coming. You should have food in your house. You should be doing X, Y, Z. And now, just now, I looked at YouTube, and a channel that I watch that it talks about content creation and YouTube and stuff like that. Their video was how to be a content creator during the recession. And they said not just a recession, they called it a intense recession. I was like, you mean like a depression? But whatever. This is a channel that is not in the doom and gloom, or even in the preparedness or the homesteading, none of those. It is a tech channel. And they were talking about recession, and it made me realize that, like, I think it's okay maybe now to talk about stuff like that. I mean, you can always talk about whatever you want, but a lot of people, I find, when I talk about things that I see coming and I'm like, hey, you know, this is coming, it doesn't look so good, like, they will act like you're insane. They'll just act like you're crazy, which is so odd. Even if you back it up with, well, what about this that's happening? Or what about that that's happening? They'll be like, oh, well, where are you getting news from? And you'll be like, okay, here are a wide array of news sources from all different political everything. And, you know, this came straight from the White House. Like, I go direct to sources. I am not all about, if I see something on a news channel or something, I'm like, where did this come from? I want to hear the exact thing that was said. I don't want to hear your interpretation of what was said. I don't want to hear the small quote that you took out of a larger quote. I want to hear the actual person saying the actual thing. But it's like, even if you have those things, people are just like, yeah, no, everything's fine. And what I find annoying is you're not allowed to be ahead of what is currently accepted. If you were talking about a recession before people were talking about it, before now, you were like scoffed at, and people did not want to hear it. So now that you're allowed to talk about a recession and that prices are absolutely stupid and stuff like that, now that's acceptable. But if you take it a step further and say, well, what about this that's coming, that I see coming, that I think might be coming? No, that's a step too far. You need to be on this level right here, and you cannot look ahead, and you can't be ahead, or you're crazy, even if it ends up happening later. To me, that's crazy. Wouldn't you want to know what's coming ahead so maybe you can prepare for it? And it doesn't have to be like buy food, even though I think you should have food. But like, even people who are interested in finance, like if you looked and saw the whole, I mean, way back when 2019 happened, the end of 2019, the beginning of 2020, world whatever came out and said that, you know, this pandemic is bad, but what's going to be worse is the food situation. There's going to be famines. They said it way back then. Like, if you like money, you could have invested in commodities back then and been like, well, okay, they must know what they're talking about. And then as things started happening, you could have done that. You probably would have made a lot of money. but you weren't even allowed to talk about that kind of stuff. You're not even allowed to talk about food shortages or possible famines until, I don't even know, even now, if you mention stuff like that, people still are like, well, that's just third world countries, that they're always like that. I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with this, except for that I'm frustrated because I feel like I don't really have anybody to talk to about a lot of this stuff because people think that you're insane. So in general, I don't talk to people about it. Or if I mention it and freak them out because I'm a little too forceful about it and they do not want to hear what I say, then I walk it back. I walk it back and I'm like, you know, I just get really excited about this kind of stuff, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I don't think it's going to be fine. I also used to couch my statements with, well, you know what? I'm a doomer. So, but you know what? I'm not a doomer. It's not just that I'm doomy. I am intelligent. I know how to look at things. I know how to see patterns. And am I 100% right? No. Probably I take it overboard. I probably do take it overboard and look at the worst case possible scenario. But even if it came to a fraction of the worst case possible scenario, well, I'd still like to be prepared for that. Another favorite thing that people like to say is, well, this is America. Like, there are people from other countries who have seen things like this happening in their country before and are getting ready. And some of them are telling people about it. And then the people like to say, well, yeah, but this is America. It couldn't happen here. There's a little fat cucumber. They're so cute. Probably need to pick it because it's going to turn into something weird. There's another one. Those are good for pickling. And then I have this one over here. This is actually, I planted these from saved seeds from a cucumber that I grew last year, and they get really big. So this is a good slicing. It's not big yet. I already ate some of the bigger ones. Great slicing cucumber. I have no idea what it is. Like I said, it's from saved seeds, but it was so good. One thing I'm definitely doing next year is putting the sunflowers on the other side of the corn. I didn't realize the corn was going to get so tall and it blocked the view of the sunflowers from the house. So you just see corn instead of sunflowers. The bees are loving these sunflowers. If you guys see that fat one up there, let's see. You see that one just hanging out? They're like all over this. I need to plant more sunflowers. These are the ones that we just use the bird seed. And just get a bag of sunflower seeds for bird seed and just stick them in the ground. They bring me a lot of happiness and they bring the bees a lot of happiness. So I don't even know where I'm going with all this. I don't even know why. I just feel frustrated. I feel like the things I want to talk about are not accepted to be talked about. And people think I'm crazy. I don't know why they would think I'm crazy. I'm not saying anything crazy. Maybe it's my delivery. And if you tell people and you're like, you should buy food. You should buy food like that. I mean, to a normal person, that does sound crazy. They're like, why would I do that? You're insane. Sometimes I get responses that are like, well, if stuff goes that bad, I'd rather just die. And I'm like, well, you're ignoring the part where you suffer before you die. It's not like all of a sudden they'll be like, there's no food. No, you get to starve to death first. Not that I think that's going to happen. I'm not even saying that's going to happen. I was just saying, even with inflation, buy your food now because food has gone up like what, 20, 30%? I don't know. And the only reason why I'm saying this is that maybe you can relate and you can know that you're not alone if you're going through this too. If you don't have anybody in real life that talks about this kind of stuff, know that you're not alone. There are other people who feel the same way you do. Okay, we're just not right there with you, I guess. That's the other thing is like, I'm not all doom and gloom. I am gardening. I'm taking my kids to the pool. We're doing fun things. I'm not like stopping living and just like sitting around being upset about stuff. That's not the way it is. But I also think that like, what's wrong with acknowledging that there are some things that aren't going very well right now? You guys helping me garden? Yeah? I doubt it. Yeah, you guys like doing that, huh? So what are the different spheres saying? The real estate sphere is getting excited. The real estate market is cooling off. Real estate investors are getting excited because when they can smell blood in the water and they know there'll be foreclosures and people putting their houses up for sale and there'll be lots of opportunities for them to get cheaper properties. The tech space is worried because of the recession and what that means for content creators, specifically talking about content creators. Adjust your expectations for your salary, like how much money you're getting, because brand deals are getting canceled. I have no brand deals, so. And then you guys already know what the homesteaders are saying. They're saying the same thing they always say. Grow food, get back to a simple life, get out of the system, which is where I'm at. Working on it. So yeah, that's pretty much, I just wanted you to know, because I'm feeling alone, a little bit alone with some of this stuff. So I want you to know that if you are feeling alone with some of this stuff, that I feel the same way you do, so you're not alone. We have each other, and I don't think it's just the two of us. I think there's other people as well that feel the same way, and they're not all doomers. They're not all tinfoil hat people. There are regular people that feel these things coming and think things are not going especially great right now. So thanks for hanging out with me. I'm sorry this isn't more upbeat. We can have a more upbeat visit here shortly, but that was just kind of what was on my mind today. So thanks for stopping by.